Right now, we're on week, what, 9, 10? Is that right? Of quarantine. Hey guys, I'm Ella Dove, and this is What the Wellness. So, while we're at home, I decided to use the resources at my disposal, aka all of the experts I've met over the years, to put together an episode of What the Wellness where I share and learn with you the best ways to create a productive and distinct work from home environment. So, without further ado, here's what I learned.
I'm Dr. Chloe Carmichael. I'm a clinical psychologist in New York City. I specialize in high-functioning people in terms of relationships, lifestyle, and career. One thing that I'm a big fan of is the binaural headset. So as you can see, I'm wearing one right now, and binaural is just, psychologists speak for it, meaning that it covers both ears. And one of the reasons that a lot of people like that is because it keeps you focused by what we call tactile feedback. So it actually kind of grips your ears and keeps you focused. It also blocks out any distracting noises that might be going on around you. So I work with a lot of, whether you're a parent and it's hard if you have kids in the background, or if you're in New York City and you've got noise on the street, or, whatever the situation, it keeps you focused.
Get a noise canceling headset. Dr. Chloe recommends a binaural headset. Binaural means like over the ear. I actually don't really like over the ear headsets. I think they can kind of get uncomfortable. Sometimes they start to hurt my ears. So I like to wear noise canceling headphones whenever I can.
Hi, I'm Karen. I am a lead neuroscientist at Dyson.
What are your tips for setting up a workspace where, while we're all stuck at home and we're trying to work through the day, to really optimize productivity, but also optimize our ability to turn it off at the end of the day?
In office spaces, there's actually quite a lot of rules and regulations around health and safety, and so much thought goes into how to design those spaces to really make you feel comfortable and optimize your productivity. And we don't have that at home. And I think we sometimes feel it's a bit indulgent if we put a lot of effort into making our workspace the best it can possibly be. But actually that's already been done for you in your office. You just didn't do it yourself. So I think it is really important to take that time and think about all of the elements of your workspace. And then you can really create that kind of dedicated area that is perfectly set up for you and the day ahead. Obviously, I'm going to say that light is really important, but it genuinely is. Again, in terms of setting up this rhythm, it's absolutely key, especially if you are lucky enough to have a dynamic light that can change in color and brightness, even if you have to do that manually. One of the key things that we found is that the changing brightness and intensity throughout the day is really important to maintain that kind of internal sense of passing of time. And I think that since we've all been stuck at home, these normal daily rhythms have got really out of whack, and we can really use light to bring ourselves back. It's all about the right light for the right time of day and understanding how light is interacting with your visual system.
How about stress and anxiety, and how does light play into that stress and anxiety, impacting our productivity and our mood, or is it completely separate?
Light in and of itself isn't a stressor, but the wrong light at the wrong time of day over a long period of time absolutely could be. Again, we sort of don't really think enough about the light, especially in our workspace. But we do need to think about things like glare and flicker and eye strain, which, although we can tolerate them, actually if you're sat there for 8 hours a day under it, you might not notice it, but it is going to be really working those muscles around your eyes, and you're going to get the headaches and the eye strain.
Create an ambiance you're really excited to spend time in. So that includes finding a light that gives you bright exposure throughout the day to keep you focused. As you learned from Karen, light is super powerful.
So I also do like to have a really serene environment if I can. So I actually got some plants. You can just be surrounded by nature, which I really like.
The plants are so important. They really just make me feel like at peace.
As someone who's really interested in kind of the senses and the impact that that can have on your well-being, I think it's really important that you set up a workstation with that in mind. So keep in mind that whatever makes you feel best and feel most comfortable is what's going to make you most productive. It's what's going to keep you in your seat for longer. And so think about smells. Seems a strange suggestion. It's like you would definitely notice if your workspace didn't smell great, but it's surprising how stale the air can get before you notice. So open a window, pop your purifier on, get some scented candles going, whatever works.
Having a candle burning just really makes this feel like a little bit more of a zen space than just like a kind of hacked together desk space, which is what it is.
So another tip that I would suggest is, we all have a smart device. I don't want to say the name of my smart device because then it will activate that one. But like whether, it's, some kind of Google Assistant or, the one from Amazon. What I do is I program mine to play different types of music throughout the day, because what that does is it kind of tricks your brain into feeling like your environment is changing. And that keeps you in a mindset that keeps you feeling a little bit refreshed. I think what it also does when you program it, you can program it into the routines, is it takes it off of your executive functioning plate so that you're not having to think like, I wonder if I need a change of music right now, or gee, I seem to be really in a funk here. Maybe if I put on different music, maybe that will change it up. So when you program it to just change it, 3 times a day, like, maybe like morning blast, like light classical in the afternoon, and then nature sounds, later in the day, or whatever works for you, that can be a nice way to kind of take charge of it. Another nice thing that can do is it can start to program some structure into the end of the day as well. So you might even have a particular song or whatever that comes on that signals to you that it's the time for your happy hour.
I've really created 3 distinct times of my day. So in the morning, I have uplifting music, and I'm burning a yin transformation scent from Harvest. In the afternoon, I'm switching to classical music, burning my Royal Earth candle. And then at the end of the day, I'm turning the lights down a little bit, turning the music up, and lighting kind of a steamy evening candle to kind of start to transition me into my evening time, whether that means cooking or watching TV or anything that is not focusing here at this desk.
Another thing that I suggest for people, and this is, I think, a good tip even if you're back at your regular office, but also good for when you're working from home, is to make sure that you have symbols around you of motivation or of past accomplishments that make you feel good.
My favorite one is surrounding yourself with things that motivate you, and I think right now I'm focusing less on things that motivate me from a career perspective, but motivate me or make me happy. So I added a picture of my family, a little old, I think I'm like 7 in the photo, right here to my desk, and it's my family on a trip, because the 2 things I miss the most right now are my family and traveling. So here we are on a trip with my family. One of the key things that Dr. Karen Daw, Dr. Chloe Carmichael all shared was creating an ambiance you're excited to spend time in. So for me, that encompasses a lot of the amenities you see around me. It's having a distinct space that feels entirely my own. It's bright, it's sunny, it's airy. Sometimes I'm cheating the light with the light above me. And the plants are so important. They really just make me feel like at peace. I'm Ella Dove, and this is What the Wellness, a very tip-oriented version of it. If you want more What the Wellness, subscribe to Well+Good's YouTube channel right now. And if you're curious as to where I got any of this stuff or a full list of all of the tips, they're all in the description below.